Welcome back to Retro Wednesday, Tydirium Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about these chrome markers, these chrome paint markers. I've been researching several different brands, and this is the one that I think works the best. So I'm also going to have a link down below where you can buy the exact same chrome marker that I'm using right here. So I ordered them, we're going to take a look at them, we're going to see how well it works. And I thought this shot would be much easier to get. It's sort of a before and after, but it's not really before and after. In reality, it is a little bit of testing and playing around with it. I'm going to get into that. We're going to talk about this. We're going to paint these, have a look at them, let them dry, then have another look at them. And then I'm also going to show you a little bit of my whitening projects that I've been working on lately. I do have some whitening projects. We're going to get into all of that coming up. First off, I want to say that these are just separate parts. This one needs to be chromed. This one is like a little bit better condition. So we'll chrome it and then we'll compare it to this. That's kind of my plan. This one here, I actually did do some of the chrome on it, but we're gonna see how this one works out over here. And then you can see how bad this is. Like, it's almost completely gone. And this is a sort of a decent one. So we're gonna see how close we can get to a decent one and do some comparisons. Same thing with this Bionic 6 bike. Now, if you're like me, you've got a lot of stuff that needs some chroming from the 80s, and that's what this is all about. Now, the reason this Quicksilver is here, and I just keep showing him, is because I did half of him, and that's kind of how it came out. So I think it's pretty good. It's not perfect, but if you can see, this is what it looked like before, and this is what it looked like after. So I'm going to show you the application process. I think it looks great. Now, obviously, it's not going to look as good as one that's been sprayed with a sprayer. So the application through a marker is interesting how they do it, but this, I'm impressed. I'm impressed, and we're going to do a little bit more. I'm not going to do any more work on him. He's a proof of concept that I just kind of want to show, and I think it's fun. I don't know if I'll even do the other half of him. I might, but it just looks so good that I'm impressed. So this is kind of really excited me about using this product, because I probably have 100 things that need some more vac metallized chrome look to them. We're going to start with a Voltron big cannon that goes with the Voltron castle, and so we're going to use the big one. Now, I'm mostly going to use the big ones. This is a 3-pack for 16 bucks that I bought, which I think is great. So there's going to be some fine tip, and I did open, and I've been using a fine tip for some corners, but I think the application is better with the bigger one because you do want it to flow. So when you get it out, you have to kind of bring the paint to the surface on that tip. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to start filling it in. Now, I like to kind of dab it on here, and it's just going to be a lot of work. It's a slow going process of doing this. As you can see, it's not fast. So the fine tip would be getting inside of these details in these little grooves here. But for the bigger parts, like right here, you want this. Now, one of the problems with paint markers is that you're going to see some streaks. So you want it to be as streak free as possible. So you want to get it marked up and then just let it sit. See, the bigger pieces, it probably isn't going to look as good on the bigger pieces as it will on smaller pieces. Smaller ones, and then you want it to flow onto it and all that kind of stuff. So here's the thing. You're only going to do one side, because if you were to lay it down and then kind of mess up where it's flowed, then you're going to have a problem. It's not going to be so good. But and you want to be excessive with it in a way. I hate to put it like that, but it's kind of something you're going to be excessive with how much you put on there. You're not being sparing with it. You want to put a lot on there. Alright, so try to get this top part here. And some of the actual chrome is still okay on the other side of this one. So, I mean, you can already see how much better it is where we've done the chroming. But you want to let it fully dry too, so that's why this video is taking me a while. It's going to take me a while. I'll let it fully dry. Get a little bit more the paint and the tip. Now, obviously, a spray gun, if you have the paint sprayer, that is the best way to do it. And it'll give an even coat, and it'll look just like it just rolled off the factory in the 80s. I mean, that's the best way to do it. It'll be a vac metallized look. It'll be perfect, no streaks. This will have some streaks to it, but I've been practicing with it, so kind of if you follow my little tips here, you won't have that many streaks. Let's get the front, this area here a little bit better. And then there's that side. So I'm not going to do the back of it because we're going to lay it like this to dry. I could probably get a little bit more on the bottom side. But you don't want to do this up and then lay it the other way. You want it to just sit and kind of be good. We're going to touch up those other pieces with the fine tip. So here's the fine tip. All right, so we're going to get in here in this little groove with the fine tip, which is very helpful. I at first thought I'm wasting my time with a fine tip one, but it's important to get these pieces, these little grooves filled in. And once it dries, it's easier. When it's wet, it's still kind of hard to see, like, where do you still need to get the stuff in here. And so with that, while it's wet, it's not as obvious. Once it's dried, and then you look at it under some bright light. There it is. That's where we're at so far. We're gonna let that one dry, and we're gonna go ahead and work on another one. Next up, I'm gonna work on this Bionic 6 bar here. So I have this one here that's chromed to know exactly what's supposed to be chromed. So I'm gonna use that as a reference point. And so I guess we can just start right here. Yeah, you have to admit this was pretty rough to start. And we're gonna need the fine tip on this. So, see, I wasn't gonna order the fine tip one at all. And I ordered the 3-pack just because I was thinking, well, it's $6 more to get the 3-pack. So why not? And I'm glad I got the fine tip because it's gonna help me get into some grooves here. Because overall, you do want it to flow real well. But see, look, I can't really get in there with this big one. So, nah, I guess I'm happy I got the 3-pack after all. And it's going to take just all this kind of work here. Wow. Definitely going to need more fine tip than I thought. So, let's grab the fine tip and get a little bit of work going on. So we need to get into this little groove here. Wow. I am kind of glad I got that. That works really well. Gets it into this little groove really well. That's awesome. Happy about that. This is coming out looking great. Now I will be honest with this. The results when it's wet, I think, are a little better than when it dries. And so that's just an honest observation there. Get this right here. There it is. And in the groove. Kind of see how this looks. It looks pretty good. I mean, obviously, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And we have another side to do over here. Well, the other side actually still looks pretty good. And it's original chrome. I'll leave it. But we're going to set this aside here and let this go ahead and dry. And we'll work on yet another one. This part here is part of Bionic 6 also, so I'm going to go ahead and paint up. while I'm waiting for that touch-up to dry, I'm going to go ahead and do another one of these and just kind of show you how bad this leg is. And I want to see how good I can make this look, so it'll be a combination of chrome and the chrome marker. So let's go ahead and get on that, and you can kind of see what I did with the Quicksilver. Okay, we're back here with end results, but we're going to start with this guy here. And we have the Silverhawk figure, Quicksilver, that had some rubbing down here. And that bothered me. And I want to show how this actually shows how it seamlessly works in with pretty much, if you remember, the front and more or less the back. It was just the side that was bad. But the front and the back were good. And it seamlessly just kind of works its way in there. And it's good. It's awesome. That's that side compared to the original side. Now there is a slight amount of streaking on the leg right there, if you could see it. Just a slight amount, to where, I mean, you wouldn't have that on this side. But really almost not noticeable. Just looks a lot like an original. Let's check out this other one. And this is the one that I did originally, which is like my test figure. I think I'm going to finish him out. I started messing around with his foot down here on the inside of the leg. It's like, it's almost addictive. Like, I'm going to chrome everything, but there's so much stuff that needs to get chromed. But let's look at the next item. Okay, here we are with the Bionic 6 vehicle. This is the original one that had the best chrome that I could find. And then this one here is what I chromed. And I'm already looking at it. I missed the inside of that, but from the side, it looks great. I mean, comparing the chromes, the original is a little shinier. Is a little, not much, just a little. This one's the original, this one is the one I just did. But I do want to say that if you spray this on, you would have to take this completely apart. So the pin application works really well on parts like this that you're not spraying on. And it looks pretty good, but it takes a lot of time, and I've got to go back and get the inside lower part of that. I just didn't see it when I was applying it, but I did get it on this side, but I just didn't get it on that side. But anyway, not that hard to do, and it works. Next up, I want to show this. So when I was set out to start doing this one looked terrible, and this one here looked the best. It looked better. I mean, it never looked perfect, but it looked better. Now, if you can look at this and see the one that was just done, it looks great. Now, there is some roughness to it right here. And it all depends, but it's smoother up here. It all depends on how you apply it. And so with that, the bottom part, I guess I wasn't as thorough. I didn't apply as thick of a coat. And you want to apply it thick like I was showing so that it will flow. But compared to this one, I mean, this one, it looks good. I'm really impressed. I'm really happy with it. It's going to look great. Way better than, way better than what it looked like before. Transformer parts. This is the before, and this is the after of the Transformer parts. And as you can see, very good. Obviously, this was the best one I could find. And let's see if I can hold it like this. And if this one being, this will look a little cloudy right here, like not super shiny. And this one here is less cloudy. It's more smooth. But we brought this thing back from the dead. Underneath, for whatever reason, underneath it looked like it was like a part was made of black instead of what a lot of these underneath look kind of like a gold color, like I don't know, like a tan color. And so strange that this one looked like that. And we brought it back from that to this, which I think looks great. Still not quite as good as the original, but really, really close. Original, well, the one we did. On this side, we can do the same thing and look at this part, and I almost think that the one that we just did is shinier. Wow. But look at all that shine. This is the one we just did, original. And I think I touched the back up a bit, but then we have this part, Voltron part. And the weird thing about this is both of these I touched up. So I don't have one of these that's in good shape, which is why I want to touch them. And I set out doing this mostly because I had stuff I wanted to fix and touch up. So there it is. Lastly, this little piece here, and I didn't spend hardly any time on it, but I probably need to go over it again. Just like some spot right here and stuff. But still, I'm just really pleased with the results on this. That's all I got to say. Just it works really well, and you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. It does take a bit of time. It takes your time to fix it, but is it worth the time versus the cost and saving a part that's going to look brand new again? It's up to you. All right, since this video is about restoration anyway, I was restoring this white panel here, and then this is like a turret tower for the Voltron castle, and then also for the capture pod this is a pod for the capture chariot for Visionaries. So looking at the first one up top there, that sidewall, I think it did pretty good, but it took 2 levels of treatment. So I had to put it out for pretty much 2 days to get it that good. It could probably use a 3rd round. Right below that, you've got the tower or whatever. See, the little cover for this, that turned green, and I'm trying to get it back to blue. Now that took 2 rounds too to get it as clean as it is. And I did take these pictures while it was still wet because I was wanting to make sure I didn't forget to take the pictures and didn't mix up the stuff and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, the white part came really white, but the blue probably still could use a little more time, oddly enough. And then the capture chariot pod, I've tried them before in the past, but since I used the 20 volume gel from the Salon store versus just using the liquid, I get much better results with the gel, and there it is. It's super bright white. So this is my look at this chrome marker by, I guess, Flycy here, and I want to say I'm more impressed than I thought I'd be when I originally ordered it. I think it is an excellent product, and I really love bringing these vintage items back to life with chrome, and I like that it looks good. This is one of those things that I've tried a lot of paints and stuff in the past that were a failure, and so I just haven't tried anything for a while. This is really the first thing I've tried to get a chrome look in years, and I'm very, very impressed. I was a little unsure about the whole application through a marker, like that made no sense at first, but I kind of see why. If you spray this on parts that aren't connected to anything else, it will give you a much better, smoother look. So that's probably a way to go, but you kind of either have to break the pen open or buy just the refills that they sell. But I have a link down below to this exact one. If you want the exact same results I got, you would need to use the exact same markers because there's like 50 different competitors out there. Not all of them are good. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Is this something you'd be interested in doing? Have you done this before? Do you have better success doing it in other ways? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. I'm here. Out.